Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. Let's go jump into the actual topic itself. Actually, I'll be curious to see what the Rev video has. It probably has the interview too, as well, with the actual, with the actual interview with the people talking about it. So
Hey, what's up, guys? Up here. So there's a very noticeable phenomenon on Twitter
here it
where
is.
people will notice
Because
these.
because remember, right? I think I saw this popped up or so on a YouTube video, like another YouTube video that popped up on my recommended feed about like Dragon Quest being censored, right? At least the remakes or the remake or remade or remakes or whatever they're called, or remastered or whatever, you know. Apparently they that some of the character or some stuff are being censored in the game.
Censorship of overseas products, particularly those from Japan, and they'll say that this censorship is likely the result of companies trying to appeal to an overseas audience. Now, typically, when these observations are made, those same observations are mocked by people on Twitter, particularly a lot of woke people who will simultaneously say that this censorship is happening and it's actually a good thing, while also saying that you're a conspiracy theorist for thinking it's happening in the first place. Now, more often than not, those conspiracy theories turn out to be true, and today we have an example of that with Dragon Quest. So a lot of people have been talking about recent censorship of Dragon Quest, and people were told they were crazy for thinking this was something that was happening, but now we have an interview including the Dragon Quest creator who comes out and just outright confirms that these things have been censored, definitely with a interest in appealing to an overseas market where even the creator seems like they understand that this is all ridiculous, and it seems like it's something that is pushed upon their team by someone else. Now, of course, if we're dealing with Dragon Quest, we're dealing with Square Enix here, who has been criticized for censoring a lot of games in appeal to the global audience that unfortunately, a lot of Japanese companies have been appealing to over the past couple of years.
I really hate that, in my personal opinion, right? That Japanese are like kind of like bending the knee or so to this weird censorship shit, or like complying to the weird wherever the shit the ideology of the Western side is, right? In my personal opinion, I played like old like Japanese games, right? Like old JRPG games, right? When they came over here, right? When they weren't censored, there weren't like, nothing was messed with them or anything like that. I just like to play it directly from like unchanged. I want to see the vision of the creator of how they actually made it and everything. So for them to be censored and everything, it just kind of sucks, in my personal opinion.
On top of that, up until very recently, you would see Square Enix listed on the client list of Sweet Baby. Only a few days ago, their name was removed from this list. Now, it's unclear whether that is a complete disassociation with Sweet Baby or they're just trying to hide their association, at least publicly. We don't know what the answer is, but a lot of people are making their guesses. Now, we're talking about Dragon Quest III Remake here. So this is coming out in November, obviously a remake of a very classic game here. And there's been concerns about this right from the get-go. So, back in July of this year, people noticed that gender has been removed from the game. In fact, they used the dreaded Type A and Type B types instead of traditional biological genders like male and female.
I'm gonna be honest with you. When I heard about this, when they removed the male and female in Dragon Quest, or like any like, I know that like as of recently, like there's been some games that do that or so. I think it's pretty fucking stupid. I'm gonna be honest with you. It is pretty fucking dumb. Because you want to know something? I'm sorry to those people who like identify themselves as another gender, but biologically, even from the void, right? From the Outer Realms High School, that's not part of your guys' world whatsoever. We learned specifically from our teachers there's only two genders, male and female. There's no in between. There's no other thing, whatever you want to call yourself. Biologically, which is science and it's proved with facts and logic, there's only male and female. You either have a hole or you have a stick. It's one of the fucking two, okay? All right? That's it. There's no like, oh, I am this and this. No, you're biologically a male or female. That is it, okay? You can call yourself whatever you want. At the end of the day, that's your opinion, but you want to know something? You can't change biological like DNA to the point that you cannot change that. You're a male, you're a female. That's it. That's literally it, to be honest.
Which is not only just a bunch of pandering and virtue signaling nonsense, but it also makes things more confusing in the game, because in that game there's other jobs that are no longer distinguished by
Click change my mind. That the type 3 should be abomination. Hey, chimichangas.
gender and name, so it makes things very confusing in some aspects.
Up top
so
indeed, up
it's
top
not just
indeed.
virtue signaling, it's actually hurting the product itself. On top of that, only a few weeks ago we saw people pointing out, a lot of Japanese gamers pointing out, that some of the iconic Dragon Quest designs have been censored, and this one...
What the fuck? They gave her shorts, and that's it. They literally just gave her shorts, and that's it, chat. That's literally it. What the fuck, dude? They just only gave her shorts, and then they called it a day, you know? It was like, yep, that's it. We're done, chat. We're done. We're going on to the next censorship. Wow. That's pretty fucking dumb in my personal opinion. I'm gonna be straight up honest with you. This is pretty fucking dumb. That's actually fucking... That is the worst fucking censorship I've ever seen in my entire life.
With the warrior character here is one that a lot of people have really enjoyed with her bikini armor. This is something that is very popular.
Modern games be like, we need a broad audience, so let's give them shorts.
Popular in Japan, this design, this character, and you can see the censorship is very obvious. On the left, you have the original design. Here's the censored one. They basically added a pair of shorts underneath there, which obviously cover up the top part of her legs and her hips. And then they put...
That's okay, because you want to know something? The modders will literally just, you know, they'll just literally get rid of the shorts, you know.
Put a crop top under her bikini armor.
Oh, I didn't even notice they added a crop top underneath that. Okay, that's okay. The modders will get rid of that easily. Easy. The modders will get rid of that really easily. It's not even a problem at all. So
here, which obviously covers up her chest. And a lot of people were very upset about this, especially on the Japanese side of Twitter, because they're now seeing these games censored on their end. It's not just localizations that are getting censored in the process of going to the English audience. They're getting censored at the base. The Japanese product itself is being censored for this global market. Now, of course, as I mentioned earlier, the usual suspects on Twitter will see complaints about this censorship, and they'll say it's actually a good thing and that it's not a big deal and just get over it. Well, as I always say...
No, because you want to know something, right? Why do you care that someone else is caring about the situation of someone changing the original character design? When this is a remaster and a remake or so of the original classic of Dragon Quest, right? It should be authentically remade from the original source material to a brand new fresh coat of paint without having to change anything that comes to the character designs or anything. They should get like visual updates, updated game mechanics or controls or anything. Maybe they want to add something like to increase another story or another quest or something. Anything of that sort of nature, basically, you know? It's basically, that's what it's supposed to be, you know? To those on the other side of the world, of the world, don't let your dreams be dreams by someone else. First, craft your art the way you see fits. Later on, add the option to censor, not censor permanently. Real censor should be an option or not be an option at all. I think, in my personal opinion, they should actually put it as an option. In my personal opinion, give the players a choice, right? To have the original, you know, outfit or the censored version if you want to do it. Because you want to know something, right? When Genshin Impact had the censorship or so for what, 3 of their characters, which is Rosaria, Jean, and Mona, I have never even bothered changing to those skins because you want to know something? I'm just kind of like, bro, like, what's the point of these skins? They're so useless. I don't want them here. So, yeah. Like at the end of the day, right? I've never approved censorship. In my personal opinion, if you want to have your vision look like a sexy bikini armor girl that's barely wearing just a nylon or so for her for her junk down there, for her putang or so, then like fuck, just go for it. Shit, just rock it out. Fuck, I ain't complaining about it.
If it's not a big deal, then why did you do it in the first place? If it wasn't a big deal, why did they feel the need to censor this iconic design that has existed for many years completely untouched? It's just an unnecessary change, and if you don't like this design or it bothers you morally or something like that,
Preach
then
it,
just don't
Co.
play the game. It's that simple. But like I said, a lot of people on the Japanese side of Twitter were very angry. Here's one tweet a lot of people have pointed out saying, why are you doing this? The female warrior from Dragon Quest is one of the most monumental figures in Japan's bikini armor culture.
Yeah.
Of all things, it was a remake of Dragon Quest III. How stupid. I want all involved parties to apologize at Akira Toriyama's grave. Even if you have to succumb to political correctness, don't do it in Akira Toriyama's style. Some very strong words there. Now, what's interesting is there's been a recent interview including a former Shonen Jump editor-in-chief as well as editor-in-charge of Dragon Ball, but also the Dragon Quest creator were interviewed where they basically went over all of these censorship concerns and made it very clear that this is something that is being forced upon them in order to appeal to an overseas market.
あとすごい話題になってたそのコスチュームとか当時とそのままなのかどうなのかみたいなのがありましたよね。また。
まあね、いろいろ規制もあってね、露出してきちゃいけないとかね。
そこまあちょっとあんまり深掘りする気はないんですけど。いいのにだってフィクションだけどその中に主人公というあなたが入って冒険するっていうことでいいじゃないと思うんですけど違うんですかね。
なんですかね。
True. Learn. But you want to know something? They don't want to learn to make anything because they know for a fact they're just lazy. They're lazy Americans. They're honestly just lazy Americans that they don't even want to. They don't even want to learn anything. Why do you think none of them? I bet you $10 none of them have hobbies. They're probably poor. Actually, they're probably broke. They have no job. They have no bitches. And they probably look ugly. And they're probably on the internet all the damn time, tweeting out like what, 200 plus tweets or so every single day for the rest of their goddamn lives because they literally have nothing else to do. Because they think numbers on Twitter thinks that they are cool,
まあフィクションという自分の中のバーチャル体験でのフ
That's
ィ
why.
クションだから楽しくければいいのにって
That's the only
思っ
thing.
ちゃいますけどね。
あんまり露出するとね、年齢が上がっちゃうっていうね。全年齢じゃなくなってしまうっていうのがあったりとか。
ルールがやっぱなんか各国違ったりするんでね、広く売ろうと思うと一番厳しいところに合わせざるを得ないと。
Yeah, but you don't have to sell it to everybody because that's why we have an age rating for certain games, Certain games are for certain audiences. Now, if you're trying to cater for all of the audiences, you're going to alienate the original audiences and they're just going to hate everything that you have done that changed the core base of the game itself just to appease, just to basically appease that specific audience over there, So...
でも当時そんなこと思わなかったですけどね。
So you can see in that clip, they address the whole bikini armor being censored. It seems like it's a very obvious reason why. It's because they want to appeal to a broader audience. And you can see right off of the bat, there's something very odd here. It seems like they're almost doing this against their will. It doesn't seem like this is something that especially the creator is on board with. This is something that they are doing because they're being told to by likely their people at Square Enix, and that's just kind of the way it is. And it shouldn't really surprise anyone, but it's obviously very concerning that they're making these preemptive censorship changes to appeal to the global market, where it's even affecting the Japanese product itself. That is a very concerning thing, especially when it's going against the wishes of the creator of the products.
ある種のね、なんだろうな、絶対心というべき、善の名を借りた悪みたいなのがあるよね。全員が不快感を覚えないなんてことはないわけ。綺麗汚いとかさ、善悪って人それぞれに感じ方があるわけじゃん。で、物事はやっぱり 根っこにあるのはやっぱり絶対やっちゃいけないことだけいくつかあって、それさえやらなきゃあとはいいじゃないって、そういうのがないわけよ。だからやっぱり英米の方から来てるその宗教的な概念から来るその正教徒の考え方ってアメリカにあるじゃない。彼らのコンプラの考え方って本当ね狭い。
You can see him constantly mentioning this whole thing about compliance. It seems like they are at the mercy of whoever they're dealing with in this situation, where they have to comply fully with everything they're being instructed to. And in this case, it seems like it's constantly involving censorship of outfit designs or anything that could possibly offend anyone overseas.
It's so
and as always with these
stupid.
things,
It's
I
so
wonder
dumb.
who is in their ear. Who is in the ear of these publishers and developers telling them these demands? Because these don't reflect the average gamer in America or in the West. They reflect the crazy beliefs of a bunch of whack jobs on Twitter and a bunch of woke people who are destroying the industry. It's very odd. I don't know who convinced all these studios this is the path to take, because they don't even seem to understand what's going on. They basically are just like, well, this is the way it is. This is an overseas market. We don't understand. We just have to do these things because that's what we're supposed to do. And that's not really the case. They're just being manipulated by someone like Sweet Baby, a company like them, these consultation firms who are coming in and telling these people you need to appeal to this global market by censoring yourself.
だから向こうでコミックスだけに全部その年齢で区切ってやらなきゃいけない。少年ジャンプの漫画だったら13アップ13歳以上じゃないと出せない。私は全部リテイク入れなきゃいけない。でそれを訴訟が起きるそのために保険も入らなきゃいけない。もうこんなねバカな国とねやるの本当めんどくさい。でそっから日本も悪影響を受けてやってるから。
主人公もね男女選べるんだけど、男女選ぶって書いていけないのね。タイプ1タイプ2なのね。
ねえ。
これ男女って誰が一体文句言うんだろうと思うんだよね。そうそうね。わからない。
なんか
That's actually my favorite part of the interview. You can see the
Yeah, me too as well. I'd be very curious who's actually complaining about these things. Like honestly, this is definitely not a Dragon Quest fan. 100%. This is definitely not a Dragon Quest fan that is actually complaining about choose male or female, you know? That is actually the most dumbest thing ever, to be honest. Damn, for the West fell, now the corruption is spreading over there. No, fight back. I think the only way they would fight back or so if they would stop completely making games for the Western audience and just only make it for their Japanese audience.
Creator of Dragon Quest talking about the Type A and Type B body type changes, and you can see just like the disbelief in the room. They know what they're talking about is crazy. They know this is ridiculous, but it seems like they don't have any authority to say no to these things and that they have to just roll with it. And they're also just confused as to what the Western audience, in particular Americans, want.
Yeah.
And you can see that last line too, like, who is even upset about this stuff? And that's the truth. Who is upset about these things? You know, a lot of these companies, they appeal to a bunch of screechers on Twitter, but they don't represent what people actually want. That's why Sweet Baby is getting destroyed. That's why companies like them are being rejected left and right, because their values and their wants don't reflect what gamers want. And the proof is in the pudding. Look at anything associated with companies like Sweet Baby. They are failing. And companies that are saying no to this DEI and woke nonsense, they're succeeding. Like Game Science with Black Myth Wukong. They got a lot of goodwill with gamers by simply saying no to this stuff. And you can see the trickle effect across the industry all the way over into Japan, where now at a base level, the Japanese products are being censored to cater to a bunch of morally righteous weirdos living in the West who have no authority or shouldn't have any authority to control how these products are being censored or packaged to go overseas. But for now, that's going to do it for this video. If you want to watch this whole interview, I will put a link to it in the description. But for now, that's going to do it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. As always, feel free to share your thoughts about today's topics in the comments section down below. And I'll see you guys next time. Hey, what's up, guys? Up here.
Yeah, like I said, right, specifically talking about the situation itself, like, I don't really approve the censorship of the bikini armor girl, you know? Right? Like, I've never played Dragon Quest, right? I always wanted to play Dragon Quest. I have a few Dragon Quest games that I saved or so. I still have them downloaded and everything. but maybe eventually I'll get the chance to play them. But I never approved of the censorship, to be frankly honest, because I think me personally, I think, you know, I want to see the original vision of the artist itself, you know, what they created with their own, you know, with their own hands and whatnot. So to see it get in censorship by someone else is just such a dumb thing, to be honest, because it's just like, it's just a bunch of people telling us what to do and telling us basically, oh, you know, you don't need to see this because you're gonna get offended, you know, we'll censor it for you, you know. It's just like, no, I'm an adult, you know, I'm way past like, you know, of like an adult now, you know. And it's just kind of like, I'm just kind of like, you know, I can make my own decisions, I can pay my own shit, and you know, I know what I need to find and everything like that. So yeah, like I said specifically, it's honestly crazy, you know. It's just dumb. In my personal opinion, it's actually just really, really, really dumb. Like I said, we'll just wait. We'll just wait for the whatchamacallit, the modders or so, right? The modders will just get rid of this, to be honest, and bring it back to its original gloriness. You know, get rid of the censorship. They'll probably have some kind of like mod or so to get rid of all this dumb censorship with the shorts and the weird tank top shirt thing or whatever. The crop top, my bad. The crop top and whatever other censorship is, they'll just probably bring it back. So nah, I think I'd just rather wait for modders. The modders would just get rid of it pretty easily, to be honest. And I don't have to deal with it, so the modders would just get rid of it at the end of the day. But yeah. Yeah, a company definitely should not appeal to Twitter, because you want to know something? Those are not your audiences at the end of the day. Your audiences is literally the gamers themselves, not whatever Twitter is talking about, you know. But you know, hey man, that's just me anyways. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to talk about the Dragon Quest thing because I kind of need to, you know, I just don't approve the censorship. Ever since they tried censoring Devil May Cry with that blonde girl's butt cheeks or so, they just did like a white streak or something, you know, which that's what fucking PlayStation started doing. They started adding like the stupid white streak or so for a lot of their games or so. And I thought it was the most dumbest thing in the entire world, because it's not really good censorship. Like, it's pretty fucking terrible censorship. And also this as well, I also disapprove of this situation itself. But yeah, anyways, that's the end of the video. You guys can comment, like, subscribe, do all that fancy jazzy stuff, and yeah, just do a Azure Lane censorship. What if I contact the company and developers themselves and tell them to sell me a copy of the game before censor, like on the low? It would be nice if they would just make like a just another one or so for it to be, you know, uncensored and everything, you know. Have a censored version or a uncensored version, or have the games or so on, you know how like on Steam or so there's like a they put the game up that's like pretty censored, and then they have a patch or so, like you can download a patch to put it in your game to have it uncensored, just to have it uncensored and everything. But yeah, anyways, that's the end of the video. Like I said, pretty stupid, you know. I never approved of this, and yeah, that's the end of the video, and peace.